pieces. Furnace. Today we are talking about scientific questions. I really want to get into it. Dark matter, graphene, obviously come from graphite. And how do they connect? Do they connect? And the scientific community obviously has pondered, but they don't. Most people in the scientific community are just sellouts, so they can't talk about this stuff, and even if they do, they don't know where it comes from. Why and how can graphene make hybrids of creatures that existed on the earth a long time ago? And people will relate it because I related to the book of Enoch. Well, Enoch was not biblically canon to the Christian narrative in the Bible. Obviously, because any church, any Christian you talk to, doesn't matter who it is, they're going to tell you the same thing. Oh yeah, man wrote the Bible. Even though Enoch wasn't biblically canon, but we're discovering new things that we didn't know. We're even discovering pyramids, even in America, that shouldn't be here. Even pyramids on other planets that shouldn't be there. And we ask the question, why are they there? Well, there were tribes of these different races, or what the Bible would call principalities. And people want to call things conspiracies, but there were things even higher knowledge that were here a long time ago, before even most humans, if not all, before even the pilgrims were in America. These things had formed their own tribes and took on the technologies, not just given it to the human race, but took their own technologies to form their own races of tribes, such as the Greys, the Reptilians, the Pleiadians. There was many more, I do believe. And now I'm just getting it back to the question, well, how does graphene relate to this? And I kind of like to use it because it's symbology. They put it in our movies, the music videos, all this other stuff. And it's very highly occult related. And I've been studying alchemy since I was younger. And how does alchemy relate to graphene? The alchemical periodic table plus the scientific periodic table go hand in hand. How? Because graphene is a universal substance, so it has universal properties in it. To name one, it has copper and graphene. Now you can applying the toothpaste as symbology for graphene. Okay. You pull the properties from a scientific periodic table through an alchemical table. What is an alchemical table? It's the alchemical table of properties, but it requires a spell or a ritual with the right technology and the right properties. Also, know where you get these properties from: the scientific periodic table of every different thing, material on planet Earth, combined hand in hand to create hybrids with the technology. And also, and like I said, they put it in our movies as symbology, for symbology speaks its own language. I'll show you rather than I'll tell you. So just like someone writes a book, they have to show you rather than tell you. So if I liquefy graphene down to its lowest state, and you blend in the blood of animals or creatures such as lizards, bugs, scorpions, with human blood and graphene, also with the technology, with a ritual, an alchemical peace ritual, whatever that's required from an alchemical table, plus the properties such as the blood and the hair follicle, or maybe even semen, you can create your own hybrid being with the right technology. Now I'm just teaching on this, so I'm going to be using the paper along with the chalkboard and with the toothpaste. So you take this. And throw it over. Throw it over the chalkboard. toothpaste, again, is for symbology for the graphene. So instead of toothpaste, imagine this being the graphene. Okay. And now, this. So I'm going to put a little bit on the paper. I just put, well, I don't want to get too dirty, but okay, imagine this as being graphene. Okay. Graphene is sort of the same way. You can liquefy it and thicken it with blood or animal blood, or it can be reptilian lizard blood. It can be think of any animal. There's a part, and I don't want to be all religion, but if you study history, think of history, don't think of this as religion for a second. No religion, just kick religion out of your head. Look at this as history. Okay, just don't call it my history, just say it's history. Okay, imagine even if you don't believe there was anything other than humans, if you don't believe there was giants or whatever that was, just imagine for a second, even if it's mythology, just imagine it, that there were giants. Just imagine there was giants here, and they were and other beings such as fallen angels or whatever, and they were misogynizing, as in they were tampering with other DNA, such as every animal, birds, other creatures on this planet, and thus they had scientific knowledge. So just like science today, even secret knowledge, scientific religion such as alchemy, they were taking blood with the graphene and liquefying down, oxidizing it down, and I really do believe they knew every step, every component, everything there was, right? Measurements, everything to liquefy to make hybrids. And they were mixing the stuff with the blood, followed by beast rituals, whatever rituals they were doing, sorceries, in pools of graphene mixed with blood and hoodoo and witchcraft and white magic, black magic. And they were doing it different ways through blood, but also through graphene, obviously. I do believe it was graphene because imagine, as I said before, the graphene and the blood is just like, in cooking, you have to have your foundation to thicken a sauce. You have to have butter and you have to have flour, the two components, or it will not thicken. It will just be a mess, because if it's just the flour, you'll have just clumps. If you just have butter, you're not going to have it thicken. It's just going to be too loose. But if you have the two components together, just like blood and graphene, the two heads are better than one. They both go together, they both combine, they both work. They're not like iron and clay where they don't mix. Graphene and blood, animal blood, any kind of blood mix. And so with that being said, if you have your own ritual or the alchemical ritual, and obviously alchemical ritual or any kind of ritual is going to be pulled off on the alchemical table of charts, such as your copper, iron, metal, and they were putting in different components, and with your properties from your scientific periodic table to combine in with this pool of graphene and blood to make different creatures of the sort, such as scorpion people, have human have a scorpion, sphinxes, animal-human hybrids, and a giant animal body with human faces. And they knew how to pump in extra hormones for these beings to make them giants of creatures, your King Kongs. They have reported that there was a point in, I think it's Southeast Asia or some part of the country, there was an ape the size of a building, or it was enormous. I think it was more than 100 feet tall, this giant ape being, and other things just like it. So we can report that being back to the dinosaur period, yes. But people that believe in God don't believe in God. I would say to the people that even believe in God, I don't believe God created dinosaurs or a lot of these beings. And a lot of people will say, well, the earth, the earth at that time period was also, they had a box of the earth, so it actually made everything more bigger than it was. Well, yes, that may be true, but also if you think about the blood and the graphene, that they were I do believe that they were using some kind of mechanism to put in extra hormones in for these beings. Now, this is just my belief, to make beings bigger, just like they do today. Today, I'll use chicken eggs, for example, that they, I think it's like over time, they will pump hormones into the chickens, or even when they are birthed. So they pump so many hormones into them, the chickens. So when they give birth, a lot of the chickens they have a hard time walking and everything, because they're growing at such a rapid rate. They're getting bigger even at a young age. That even when they're grown adults, they're really not even. Some of them I've seen, they're not even adults. They're like barely even teenagers. But yet the hormones, so many hormones have been pumped in them for so long that they have grown to extraordinary rates, and for surpassing the age range of where they're even at. And I would apply that, the same thing with that, with the graphene in blood to make hybrid sphinxes and everything else. Now you can say, well, yes and no, but that's just my belief. So, but just like the toothpaste, imagine this would be the same thing as graphene, and then everything else is applied into the model as well. So just like the toothpaste here, we have blood in the mix of the same thing. And I don't know why this stuff fascinates me. I just wondered also, how are they making other creatures? They were making rock creatures, giant tree creatures, and more creatures that were not supposed to even be living, and made them living, made them be able to speak, talk, have eyes, so on and so forth. Like your movie Lord of the Rings with your tree giants, rock giants, and like the movie Never Ending Story, and so forth, so forth. They're symbolic. They have to show us through these things, because I do believe they've been hiding these things from. This is the real history of planet Earth. This is the real history of why there's so much things that have been hidden from us in our schooling and in regular school and so on and so forth, that's just been a cover up from our not just the universities as well, teaching on evolution and everything, but also the things that our government have been hiding. So, I mean, heck, I could say, why not pull a creator, pull God out of the school system and of life, so more people would commit suicide, more people would do certain things, and nobody would feel like they have a purpose to life. And also, yes, I would say graphene. Besides that, our government has been hiding a lot of this stuff from us that's actually inside the earth, I do believe. Actually, at the center of the earth, inside the earth, a lot of these things have been hidden from us. They're still being held down there that they don't want us to know about. Like DUMB, Deep Underground Military Bases. People will call me a conspiracy theorist, but I'm fine with it. But this is just my belief. And alchemy has kind of led me to graphene and the black goo. The black goo is the graphene. The black goo mixed with the blood created these hybrids. And now, what are cryptids? Cryptids are just the manifestations of the spirits of these beings that used to be on planet Earth, but now they have just taken on the bodies of these spirits of cryptids. They call them cryptids. They've been calling them even since I've been growing up. You've seen the shows, Monster Quest, and all these other shows about the cryptids, the cryptids, the cryptids. Going crazy about the cryptids, but the thing is they are just the manifestations. Now, maybe some of them, I don't know about all, but I would say the majority of them are just the manifestations of the beings that used to walk this planet before it was destroyed. And I do personally believe this place is going to be destroyed again. Our planet, not just America, but I believe that the whole planet is going to be destroyed again someday. Don't know when, but someday. So that's just my metaphor of the graphene mixing with the blood to create hybrids, going back to the Book of Enoch, the Genesis 6 account, everything, even created dinosaurs, giant beings, sphinxes, leprechauns, fairies. Now Now the Nephilim, I do believe the Nephilim were a little bit different. These giants, because it was the fallen angels that had sex with women. But after that, they were using the graphene and blood to make these other hybrids. Like I said, they made the leprechauns, the fairies, the wolfmen, the scorpion men, and so on and so forth. All the rest of any of them you can think of, the centaurs, just dragons, everything else that used to be here. Now they have all turned into mud fossils. They were fossilized. So imagine the story of Pompeii. The story of Pompeii was where they died. Yeah, the volcano went off, erupted, and all turned to stone. But instead, these giants, once a flood or the catastrophe came and ash, they all died standing upright and were fossilized, as in turned to mud fossils. Mud fossil being a form of turning to stone, standing up, frozen. You're frozen in time. Died, whichever place, angle, or however you died, standing or laying or whatever else, that's how you died. You died in a state of being, or whatever state, laying up, standing down, so on and so forth. But majority, yeah, standing, upright, whatever. So, and that's my scientific talk. A.S.M.R. Firehouse out. Till next video. And I hope someone can do their own research, really pray, meditate, and really just do your own research, because really we're in a time where people believe in whatever they see, and I'm saying, take what I'm saying as a grain of salt, but really do your own research. Research on graphene, mud fossils, alchemy, research an alchemical chart, and the scientific periodic table, pray, meditate, come up with your own conclusion. So, but I believe exactly what I'm saying is true. So, very nice out. God bless.